tackling grueling endurance races for hours upon hours, completely lost in the zone on the original Sony PlayStation. That is exactly what comes to mind the second you look at these city skyscrapers. This legendary layout absolutely defined the era of fictional street racing. This time around, we are looking at Seattle Circuit. If you spent any time playing the Gran Turismo games back in the day, you can probably still hear the distant ambient sounds of this track echoing in your head. For many of us who grew up burning rubber on the original PlayStation and PlayStation 2 consoles, these steep city drops, the sweeping stadium section, and that notorious railway overpass are pure core memories. Seeing this legendary layout in this modern era feels like an absolute dream come true for classic Gran Turismo fans. Physically and visually, Tyrone did an incredible job building the foundational geometry and trackside details of this circuit, capturing the unique elevation shifts, road mesh, and atmosphere perfectly. On top of that excellent framework, Mike 08 gave it a beautiful brand new paint job with crisp 4K textures. Combined with the pure weather engine running, the city feels completely alive. The long shadows cut across the tarmac, the sunlight reflects beautifully off the skyscrapers, and it looks and feels premium from every single angle. Now, if you don't have this track in your digital garage yet, or you want to grab it for yourself, I've put together a very quick tutorial showing you how to install it properly. I will also leave the download links for both mods in the description below. Just a quick heads up before you install it. This classic layout runs best if you are still running an older, stable version of the shaders patch. So, for Tyrone's original mod, you just drag and drop like normal, you grab that, then you go up here. You would have seen this a billion times. I'm not going to install it since I've already got it, so I'm going to press cancel. For Mike 08's 4K texture folder, Content Manager will not install this properly. To do it right, you need to head to your Assetto Corsa root folder. The easiest way is to open up Content Manager, then you head to Drive, then you head to Quick, then you click on the track, and make sure that you've actually got the track chosen. In my case, I've already got it chosen. So you right click and you just click folder, and right there you got the actual directory of the track in the root folder. So then you just minimize this, you don't need it anymore. Double click on Mike 08's zip folder, highlight all of these, and then grab them all and drag it into the root folder of the track. In my case, I'm not going to do it either because I've already got it installed. Then once you do that, that's it. That's the installation done. Now, one important thing you got to do, you go here, click on this little menu here, and tick both of these. Once you turn these on, then you've also got Mike 08's 4K textures. It feels like the ultimate environment to unleash a heavy, roaring muscle car. And dropping a classic Australian icon onto these grid slots feels entirely right. We are behind the wheel of a true legend tonight. The 1968 Holden HK Monaro GTS 327, beautifully brought to life by Uncle M. Packing a Chevrolet-sourced 5.4-litre small block V8 and a 4-speed manual. This is the automotive icon that put Holden on the racing map, claiming a historic maiden victory at the 1968 Bathurst 500. Forcing this heavy, live-axle Australian tank through a tight concrete American street circuit is a wild combination. And on paper, this should have been the ultimate throwback video. But, unfortunately, I had no luck at all. The harsh reality is, getting this track to run properly under the current custom shaders patch 0.3.0 Preview 361 completely broke the experience for me. To be fair, this preview build is still very much in its experimental stage, so it is just a natural part of the software's evolution. But as it stands right now, the compatibility issues make a full grid race simply unusable. First of all, the AI's behavior is completely broken. When maxed out, their actual raw pace is good, but their execution is a disaster. Right from the green light, some cars completely fail to launch off the line, causing an immediate bottleneck. And once the pack does get moving, they make way too many mistakes, constantly crashing into each other or slamming into the walls for no apparent reason. They just sit there trying to drive through broken cars, pinning their throttles and revving their engines until they either blow their motors or completely destroy their tires. On top of that, the timing gates are totally broken too. No matter what position I actually cross the finish line, the game always tells me I finished last, second last, or in some random position I didn't deserve. Now, the fact that the wet weather track layout isn't 100% compatible with this new preview build of Custom Shaders patch and Pure 3.21 is another bummer. But honestly, expecting flawless dynamic puddles and rain spray on an older mod like this is asking for a bit too much, and I can easily live without those luxury visual effects. But the absolute final straw happens right at the notorious chicane. The hidden pit entry line actually bleeds out onto the racing surface. As you are trying to be as gentle as possible with the steering and throttle, the game suddenly thinks you are entering the pits. If you happen to use the pit limiter, the game forces that limiter to kick in for a split of a second, causing the car to unexpectedly brake right on the curbs and completely unsettling the chassis. Now, I'm quite positive that this mod would have worked a hell of a lot better with older shaders patch versions, like 0.2.11 or even the older 0.1.79. But I am not going to keep rolling back my versions just to gamble on a single track. Ilya, the absolute genius behind the lights patch, does some amazing work, and I have no doubt that 0.3.0 will be free from a lot more bugs in the very near future. The reality is, some of these older mods simply need a bit of a modern update to suit these newer custom shader patch versions. And honestly, whether that update comes from the original creators or a talented community member, I think a lot of us would gladly pay a few bucks on Patreon or Ko-fi to support the effort. It is a very small price to pay to keep these wonderful creations alive and working perfectly. Now, I want to be completely honest with you guys. I am not a modder. I have absolutely no idea how any of this background coding works, or where I would even begin to fix a track map. It might be a relatively simple fix for someone who knows what they're doing, but for me, I simply don't know the first thing about it. And I want to make it absolutely clear. I am certainly not picking on this particular mod, not at all. This is simply one of the many legendary older creations that is in desperate need of an update or a revisit. Whether the root cause is coming from these newer custom shader patch previews, or if it's just a general compatibility issue over time, it's just a shame to see great work get left behind. So if anyone out there in the modding community knows a workaround, or has a custom AI config line that patches these issues for newer light patch previews, please feel free to drop a comment and let me know. Until then, keep racing and keep it heavy.